Hello, and welcome to lesson 3 of my very scripted lessons. Today, we're going to discuss the progressive verb tenses. Now, there are three progressive verb tenses: the past progressive, the present progressive, and the future progressive. Note that the progressive tenses are the same as the continuous sentence, no? Or the continuous tenses. Now that's out of the way. Let's look at the pattern of these tenses, no? In order to follow the formula of the progressive tense, we must be acquainted with the present participle. Simply put, ang present participle na yan siya, that is the ing form of the verb. Okay? Now, let's go to the patterns. Simple. For the past progressive, you have was or were plus the present participle. For example, it was raining when I drove to work. It was raining when I drove to work. For the present progressive formula, we have am, is, or are plus the present participle. For example, it is raining. I am drinking coffee. For the future progressive tense, we have the will be plus the present participle. For example, it will be raining when I get home. It will be raining by the time I get home. Now let us discuss each tense individually. No? We will start with the present progressive. You form the present progressive tense by using a form of the verb be. Ano ba yung mga forms of the verb be? The be could be converted to am or is, no? And it's going to be followed by the present participle. For example, I am watching a movie. Ang am na yan siya is a form of the verb be, di ba? But we are not in the 1800s anymore, no? I be watching a movie. So, it is a simple concept that many might not be able to use correctly. Why? Because it is easy to confuse the simple mali. Nawala ako. Present tense with the present progressive. What do I mean by that? Sige nga. What's the difference between it rains in Jensan and it is raining in Jensan? Diba? It rains in Jensan and it is raining in Jensan. The difference is this. When we say it rains in Jensan, that means that it rains in Jensan generally. Pun intended. No? It does not necessarily mean that the rain is going on at the moment, which is different from when we say it is raining in Jensan. It is raining in Jensan means that the rain started sometime in the past and it's still going on right now in the present and might still continue somewhere down in the future. The present progressive can also express a scheduled event in the future. For example, this sentence is in the present progressive. She is starting school next semester. That is the same as she starts school in the next semester. Or she will start school in the next semester. The meaning here is the same as the sentence in the simple future. She is going to start school next semester. The present progressive and simple future sometimes have the same meaning. You can also use the present progressive with always to say that something disturbs you. For example, Sir Arthur is always playing loud music at night. Or, I am always making mistakes with verb tenses, which is common. I just woke up. Let's move on to the past progressive. The past progressive describes an event that was in progress in the past. No? To form the past progressive, just use the was or were followed by the present participle of the verb. For example, I was working late last night. We were eating spaghetti last night. Diba? In the past. Sentences in the past progressive often have two actions. Most of the time, dalawang actions talaga yan. For example, it was raining when the plane landed in Davao. Diba? It was raining when the plane landed in Davao. Notice that the second action, landed, is in the simple past tense. No? The past progressive can also express an action in progress that is interrupted by a second action. So while something is happening, something is interrupting it. For example, I was running and slipped when I fell. Sa kanya. Nag-fall sa kanya. Char, diba? I was running when I slipped and fell. Running, slipped, and fell. Or, I was sleeping when you called. It is possible to have two progressive actions in the same sentence. Now, if the two actions are happening at the same time, you could say, I was sleeping when you were working. Diba? Or I could say na I was sleeping and you are bothering me. No? Or I could say I was sleeping and you were playing loud music. That's why I woke up. The future progressive tense describes an event that will be in progress in the future. No? To form the future progressive tense, it's simple. Just use the helping verbs will be followed by the present participle. For example, I will be waiting for you when you finish work. Diba? I will be waiting when you finish work or until you finish work. Basta it's a progressive action in the future. Okay? The future progressive can be useful when you are making plans. Imagine your friends wants you to pick her up at the airport tomorrow but you have to work, no? You could tell her, I'm sorry, but I will be working when your plane gets in. I will be working when your plane gets in. That is a progressive action in the future. Pero pag crush mo yan siya, okay, I will be going to the airport to pick you up when your plane gets in. Diba? Next. You can learn more about future tenses as you study them sa ating notes part. Okay? Progressive verbs are especially useful for describing changing emotional states. And that is where we will end our lesson 3. I hope you learned something. I hope you have fun with this session. I just woke up. I got jacked on coffee. So, merong mga pakwela dito, no? So, I hope you read our notes and God bless you.